Hey there friends, this is a fun shoot that we shot inside of a range studio here in Los Angeles. This shoot is sponsored by Zeiss. I've been able to try out some of their lenses and I've been having a blast. We're showing you a new model named Saray Kong who did an absolutely fantastic job. You'll notice behind her is a big window. A lot of light coming in. You can actually close those and block that light off, but by adding that natural light behind her, it made this a 3-light setup. And something I really recommend, if you can have a natural light source as part of your light setup, it's going to make your shots just that much better. Trust me. We used the Policy Buff B800, just the in-studio lights, and the reason I did that is I wanted to, see what just you could do with the lights that a lot of studios just have set up, because they're cheap and they're readily available for most photographers out there who rent studio spaces. For a rim light, we used the Rotolite EOS, and we didn't actually use a poncho or a cover on that. We just put the sucker down there and we put it on actually a box, and it did a really great job. I just love these shots. I love the way Saray got into the shoot. I can't express enough how important it is to have a model who just really envelops the role, and that's what she did. But it is amazing, even at just 1/60th of a second, how much of the rain you can capture and how much you can freeze frame that action. Here we're going to play with some action, just throwing that hair back for a shot like this, get that splash look going on. And then since she was doing that, I said, hey, why don't you just start throwing water at me and so on and so forth, and she did. To be honest, I wasn't as worried about it because I was using the Batis lens, which has a tighter mount than the Sony lenses that I typically use, and I felt confident shooting with it. It was great. Here we get a foot splash of her just whipping it around, and it turned out fantastic. So let's do a little bit of a breakdown on the shoot here. We'll start with some posing tips. One thing, if you'll look at this shot, is always have your models point their toes. It's a really great idea. It's something that is very emblematic of dancing, and it really makes the shots turn out great. Arching that back is a great idea for a model when you're trying to shoot a subject. You want to get them to do that rather than just have a flat back or a hump back. And then positioning the props. If you look at the way the chair is, I make sure to show all 4 legs. So pay attention to those props when you're out there shooting, guys. For lighting, you saw a technique that we used in there. There's Emily holding just a regular reflector, but we're actually using it to block the light. So if you look at that light on the back wall, it's really hitting that and reflecting that light back, and I wanted to mitigate that. So this shot is before the flagging, before we cut that light down, and this was after. You see how clean and black that back wall is, and it looks really fantastic. We added a rim light, like I said earlier, with that Rotolite EOS, and it worked out fantastic. And if you look at the ground there, that light on the ground, especially with the water environment, really added a lot. So without that rim light, these shots would have been a lot more flat. In regards to gear, we used my favorite camera, which is the Sony a7R III. I love this camera. I use this over the a7R IV because it focuses better, and I love the file sizes on it. Again, we used the Zeiss Batis, and this was an interesting one for me when I spoke to Zeiss about shooting some of these lenses. As you guys know, I've always loved the 35 and the 50, so trying something like the 40 was great, and the Batis is so light. All of those lenses are so light, and they're just so well built. It did a great job, and the focus that it did in an environment like this was just fantastic. As I mentioned, we just used those Alien B Policy Buff lights. They're super cheap in every studio out there. Only downside to them is that they don't have high-speed sync, so that's why all of the shots were below 200ths of a second because of the flash sync speed. And we used my trusty Rotolite EOS as that rim light, and again, gotta say, super proud of it because without any rain covering on it or anything, and it was getting splashed, it performed really, really well. The model is the lovely Saray Kong. She did an absolutely phenomenal job. Make sure to go on and give her a like and a follow. And then, of course, it was me shooting, Saray modeling, and Miss Emily assisting, as always. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for new videos, and if you want to check out any of our workshops, please go to jasonlanier.com/register. We'd love to see you there.